So, a very heartfelt welcome to all the lovely people who have joined us today for the session on emotion code, what are trapped emotions and how to clear them. So, to speak on the topic, we have with us a very special guest, Karen. Karen is certified in various natural healing modalities, including nutrition, detoxification, cleansing, Western herbalism. She guides people in all aspects of cleansing and detoxification. She has also studied Taoist, tonic herbs, and lifestyle practices, essential oils, and emotional freedom therapy, EFT. She is certified in this very powerful technique about which we'll talk about today, emotion code. She believes, to overcome serious or chronic illnesses today, one needs to heal on all levels, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. She has also been doing energy healing work for years on herself, her family, and her clients, as she has received the training from different carefully selected teachers. She is currently living in Boulder, Colorado, with her husband and two kids. Karen, we very warmly welcome you. Thank you for joining us today. Now, over to you, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction. I'm very grateful to have connected to you the way we did. It was just very unique how I felt into and was attracted to your Instagram page and some of the messages that you were putting on there. And then I go to my email box and had received an email from you. So I'm very grateful to have connected, and thank you for that introduction. I've owned a wellness practice for over 10 years now and just initially focused on physical healing of the body, especially cleansing and, as you said, nutrition. And when I added the emotional component, we do need to heal our body, mind, and spirit. And I would almost say the mind and the emotional healing is truly key. I'm not one of those practitioners that will tell you, oh, these Cheetos have good energy, go eat them. I'm more of a health nut, but I default to energy these days, and then I can bring in the nutrition and the food choices as needed when I'm guided there, sometimes proactively, depending on the client. So I also looked up last night. I know there's a big time difference, and I'm probably not going to say this right, but Susandia, good evening to you all. And it's 9 in the morning here, and I know it's 9:30 at night where you are. So there's a big time difference. And if we ever want to continue some things, maybe, because I do move my group calls that I do around, pushing them a little bit more in the morning for me. So if any of you would be interested in trying, they're fairly inexpensive. And so I am going to give a sample of clearing the emotion code way. So I would like in the chat somebody that has physical pain right now that I will work on. I'm going to say a few things before I work on you, but if you would like to volunteer for me to work on you one-on-one because you have physical pain, I will do a little sample healing on you. So just write volunteer in the chat and I will choose you. And if there's more than one volunteer, don't worry. I'm going to do, because I do clear on groups, which is my way of clearing. I'll work on everybody before the call is over. So if somebody would like to volunteer that has pain, active pain, I will just say volunteer in the chat. And I want to know how many of you have read the Emotion Code book or are familiar with anything. Like, I know Dr. Nelson has participated in different healing documentaries. So you've watched some of the. Okay, I've got an arthritis volunteer. Some of you have watched some of the videos. Okay. All right, I'll go through and pick out somebody with pain to do that. So let me start with the core of the emotion code is this. I know that I'm a small screen, but it's this chart of 60 emotions that Dr. Nelson developed. Initially, he had more emotions because we can feel. As humans, we feel more than 60 different emotions, right? But it's just faster, and our subconscious chooses what's closest, and it works. It works this way. It's faster for the practitioner. After you've done this a while, like I have, you have most of the chart memorized, and you learn to muscle test really fast. But so he talks about these. Well, we process, as humans, we process thousands and thousands of emotions a day, right? And most of them do not get stuck. But sometimes they get stuck more than, it's always surprising how many can come up in a session. But most of them do process, but some get stuck. And so Dr. Nelson calls these trapped emotions. It's written about in the book, and they are invisible balls of energy that imbalance us just like toxins and pathogens do. They can be on average the size of an orange or a baseball, maybe bigger, maybe smaller, and they can be located anywhere in the body. If they're affecting the heart, it would be called a heart wall, and I'll talk about that later. But so we can identify these trapped emotions, and where I was looking for the key trapped emotion to get the most healing and release them. And we can actually even be born with these trapped emotions or these negative energies. And we can use this 60 emotion chart for more than just trapped emotions. Sometimes they can be resonances that are in the cells, like a ringing, like you're hitting a hammer on a bell, and it's like a ringing in all the cells in the body. So yes, we can be born with these energies, these negative energies. They can be inherited from our lineage, and it can go back a ways. Dr. Nelson teaches about 22 years per generation, but I found sometimes you really learn as you do this. In the beginning, maybe you're curious to get more details, but as you do this, you just want them gone, and you want to ask the minimum amount of questions. But I have picked up trapped emotions in myself, clients, family that go back well over 100 years, which is amazing, because if you use, maybe it's 20 years on average per generation, that's 1,000 years. That's a long time. But the good news is we can clear them. When they're inherited, we actually clear you who has it, who I'm working on, and both directions in your lineage. So all your ancestors that had it, maybe not all of them had it, but it did come down the line to you. And if you have kids, we clear your kids as well, if they got it. And again, in the beginning, sometimes you're just so excited and curious. You like, okay, did my daughter get it? Did my son get it? Yes, no. A lot of yes, no questions in this work. And then you confirm that we clear it off of them. And it's a very simple technique. That's why. And I mean, you mentioned that I know tapping and emotional freedom technique. That's simple too. Use them both. See what comes to you in the moment. So My favorite way to muscle test, and you can do this on a flat surface, is I have my hand on a flat surface, and I train. I tell my subconscious that a yes is just a twitch in my index finger or my index finger going up, and a no is my thumb going up. And you can do it on a flat surface. Show me a yes, show me a no. And I'm doing it right now. You can't see me. But after you get comfortable, you can do it anywhere. You can do it at a grocery store. You can do it inconspicuously. You don't have to look like kind of a weirdo if you're at the health food store trying to pick out a supplement and you're muscle testing or you're moving back and forth. It's very inconspicuous. So I like that. I hope that's helpful for you guys if any of you are stuck on muscle testing, because it doesn't have to be a block at all. So let's work on you, Priya. I hope I'm saying your name right. Your back pain is at a 5 or a 6 right now. And this is another key thing with muscle testing. In the beginning, you want to be very deliberate about making the intention. So much of this work is about intention. So making the intention to connect to your subconscious, and you will hear, especially at the end, I use spirit, and there are other modalities that use superconscious. I like, they're all the part of you that knows everything. They're the part of you that sees the big picture, that understands things that, that are behind the veil for us consciously. So you want to make the intention to connect to your subconscious. I'm making that intention now. And so as I would be a new practitioner, I am just repeatedly saying, because it's my intention to proxy muscle test. And even if you were sitting next to me, I have the way I work, and Dr. Nelson has staff practitioners that work exactly this way. They only use proxy muscle testing because you're asking a lot of questions in a session. So if you are muscle testing on somebody's arm and trying to push on their arm 100 times in an hour, their arm's going to get tired. And a lot of times it takes more skill, and sometimes people's can be dehydrated and you can't trust them. So anyway, Dr. Nelson puts the emotions that we can be born with can go into, they could be inherited, they could be absorbed in the womb. Preconception is where it's actually, you don't have a physical body, and it is the emotion is lodged in your spiritual body before you have or when you're out of body. He calls that preconception. I would say it's probably about resonance, and not everything gets passed down, but it does. And there's so much about energy that we don't understand right now. So much about how our minds work, and I cleared that what was it? It was the heartache that was absorbed from the collective unconscious, the collective consciousness, the collective mind. And there's just, can we be aware of exactly what emotion is causing pain? So sometimes you just don't need to go down that rabbit hole. That's what I encourage my clients to do. Like I said at the beginning, in when you just start using this modality and you're excited because you're trusting your muscle testing more, you will want to ask extra questions and just let yourself go. You can find it out. You can ask a question of something that was already cleared, but usually I will say we are focused on getting your pain to go away, not to analyze that you got this shame from your grandfather, and analyze the negative things about his life. You want to focus on how you feel in the moment. But like I said, you could go back and test if there was a key emotion. Or sometimes I say to clients, listen, observe your dreams, see if anything comes to you in dreams, about a situation that was key to clear, and that can happen too. Let's see what else. Well, seeking to help externally to release negativity within ourselves should always be an option. How do we train to help ourselves if we keep suffering from chronic pain? Yeah, chronic pain can take more time, and just more work. And like I said, that's when sometimes you bring in some physical aspects if you're open to holistic healing and diet changes and maybe cleansing. And as I shared in the body code, I can get led to specific diet and nutrition ideas for clients, such as a certain food or a certain herb or nutrient, to take or avoid. I can, because I have done this so often for myself and my family, test through favorite food choices, and see if there's a food intolerance that is contributing to the pain. But yeah, it's just continuing to work on yourself and taking time to get heart centered and follow your own intuition. And maybe your intuition will, if it's something serious, say, oh yeah, I ran into this doctor at an event and I think I'm going to call them and see. And just following your intuition. And natural healing sometimes takes a little time, but we usually can get shifts with the energy healing. Let me see, right away. Do you see any other questions? Was healing is related to body care or personal care, or free from daily life suffering? Well, that, I guess, listening to your intuition more and more, to treating your body with respect, with the food it wants, and the thoughts, the thoughts, like realizing that our thoughts create our reality, and clearing these negative ones that are so often subconscious, so that consciously you can manifest the life of your dreams. Is it possible to heal any toxic emotion through a change in lifestyle? Well, that's where when I discovered the emotion code, it was just the missing piece for so many things in my life. And I had been on a physical healing journey. I've done so many cleanses myself, and it just brought my level of vibration and overall physical and emotional health up when I added the energy clearing component.
So we can maybe conclude the session. It's almost 11 here. And so I think this was one of the most heartwarming session that personally I've attended so far. And we are so grateful to you, Karen, for taking out time to be with us and sharing and imparting your wisdom. And also, we are grateful to the universe for connecting us in this way. And it's
Yeah.
great to have you. And we thank all the participants for their wonderful questions and for being here with us and sharing their journey and being here. And we would like to stay connected with all of you. Um, so we want to hear from each one of you, how did it feel? So we'll be circulating a feedback form via email, so you can just share your views, positive or negative, whatever you felt, or if you have any doubts. And we keep conducting similar sessions, so if you want to stay updated, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, stay in touch, all of you, and all the best for your journey ahead, and let's keep healing.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Good night and have a good day, Karen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Karen.
Bye bye. Bye everyone.
Thank you so much.